welcome to Hebron Maple Festival 2025. My name is Holly Havoc, and I am the president of the Town Center Project. This is our second year bringing this amazing festival back to our town's roots. We are focusing very much on the agricultural aspect of sugaring. We have a ton of activities planned for you for this weekend. The festival runs 10 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. We have both sugar houses in town, Wenzel Sugar House at 522 East Street open, and Woody Acres at 80 Cone Road open. Both sugar houses are boiling and open for visitors, selling syrup like mad. Just a wonderful, wonderful weekend adventure. A ton of nonprofits that are all on site that are fundraising. This is normally their biggest fundraiser of the year. We hope that you guys will all come down and join us.
Sawmill is a local woodworking business out of Ashford, Connecticut. We started in 2020. We do all sorts of variety of wood products made out of locally harvested wood species in our area. We try and get within 20 to 30 miles or less of where we are, and then we mill, dry, and make the wood products that you guys see. We make everything from cheese boards, charcuterie boards, servers, platters, small furniture, chainsaw carvings. And we also work on slab sales as well. So, wide variety, and we keep on trying to increase our inventory and our listings. So, if you ever want to reach out to us, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We're working on TikTok and YouTube videos shortly, and we'll have a website up as well, hopefully this year.
I'm a local artist. My name is Rosie, and I have a handmade crystal wrap jewelry business. I specialize in bracelets, earrings, pendants, headbands, and a little bit of everything, really.
All right, where can we find your product?
So, my business name is Sugary Gems, and I'm on Instagram at Sugary Gems.
I designed most of them. A lot of them are upcycled if I don't make them from scratch. We're trying to minimize waste. We're Clean Pirate. So we do a lot of, like we take tablecloths and turn them into
Oh my gosh.
skirts, aprons,
beautiful.
dresses.
Oh, I love that.
This one's like a new one for spring. It's a little beach cover up from old curtains. This was a lab coat that was gonna be thrown away, turned into an apron. It's got some pockets, and then I hand dye them. Yeah, and then I do all my fashion illustrations as well with watercolor and some mixed media. So yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful stuff.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. We've never been to Hebron, so.
You have an online store? Or?
I do, yes. It's Clean Pirate with 3 R's. We're putting up all new stuff for spring right now, so we prioritize the pop-ups for, you know, our in-person, just the in-person stuff is what makes you feel good more than the online sales, even though obviously we have to survive, but yeah, so.
My name's John. My wife and I run Old Reading Farm. We're in Newtown, Connecticut. Started out with alpacas. We used to be in Reading and we had 1.8 acres. Now we're on 30 acres in Newtown. We have 24 alpacas, 6 emus, 7 peacocks, 2 mini donkeys, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so we used to do craft shows with the alpaca stuff, like the hats and gloves and things like that. And my wife one day saw a guy doing chainsaw carving on site. She was like, you know, you should try that. And I said, an excuse to buy a new chainsaw? You got it. So tried it out, worked really well, and now it's what we do full time.
Awesome. Where can customers buy your product?
So if you go to oldreadingfarm.com, we have a list of our upcoming shows where we're going to be at. We go all over Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, and Vermont. That's generally where we sell stuff. You should check us out there.
aka Hebron, and we have had a Hebron Rocks Owls walking team, and it's the Walk to End Alzheimer's this year. It's on Sunday, October 19th, and we support the Alzheimer's Association for several reasons. One, we're in an era of hope. Now we have many treatments for early onset. We We also are working on biometric testing so that folks can actually be tested so much earlier so that they can get the treatment they need. We also walk in order to raise funds for resources for both those that are diagnosed with any type of dementia, including Alzheimer's, which is the leading type of dementia, along with their caregivers. So, we are here.
professional mermaid. I perform at birthday parties, events of all kinds. I also offer seaside mermaid encounters, story time. Wherever you like a mermaid, I shall be there.
We love being at the Hebron Maple Fest, going on strong and keeping it local.
That actually grows green black tea in the continental United States. Usually comes from China or India. I really wanted to support local USA agriculture when I was making my product. So I searched for a tea that grows in the US. And there's only a handful down south. But the Great Mississippi Tea Company has this wonderful product. So I buy them in bulk, and then I use herbs that I grow, or organic herbs grown in Vermont or Maine, to make a beautiful, unique blend. And I do all the artwork myself. This is my daughter Fiona on the pouch here. And today I'm sampling Maple Trails tea and maple flakes. Chai is made with fire-roasted yolkan.
Wow.
Not many people know what yolkan is, but it's the only plant native to North America that is naturally caffeinated. It was used by Native Americans in ceremonies and as a beverage for hundreds of years. It kind of fell out of favor, but it's a resurging product down south, and now it's featured in 2 of our teas. I blend that with cardamom, clove, star anise, and a little bit of vanilla extract to create that kind of smoky, soothing, warm tea.
Oh man.
okay? So usually what a magician used to do when they would want to make something disappear is, believe it or not, they would go to the theater that they were performing in, they would cut a hole in the stage, so that way somebody could fall through to the bottom and didn't have padding and everything, and that's kind of like what I did. So what you guys can see is I actually have this playing card dangling by these two little ribbons right here, and it's holding it so that way I can drop it from the stage, and it looks like it vanished. And it falls through this little slot in the top. You guys all see this right here? So, what if we tried to do this again? This time what I'll do is I'll actually just pretend that I didn't flash this. I'll pretend that you guys didn't see underneath the curtain, and maybe we can make this trick work, alright? So, Layla, can you hold on to this playing card for me? By the way, as she drops a handful of kettle corn. So we are going to make a giant playing card disappear. Alright! Excellent, Layla, you know your cue. So we'll take our stage and put it together just like this one. I've got the back curtain, and I've got the front curtain right here. And Layla, can I please have that giant playing card? Thank you very much. I will pay you next year. I was gonna say, I gotta wait till I get it. So we'll take the playing card. We make it go in between these two panels just like this. And of course, we need the magic word. And I really like the magic word fedora chicken. And I think it was funny that an entire crowd yelled it. So, guys, at the count of 3, let's yell the magic word fedora chicken one more time and see if we can make this magic trick work. Ready? 1, 2, 3. See? It's even funny the second time. I can't wait. We got a couple more tricks when we need that. The trick, oh yeah, the trick is not to say it, because here's the thing, if you said it, the card probably wouldn't disappear. Because I can show you this side right here, and I can show you guys this side right here, and I can say that it vanished, right? But you guys already know the outcome of the trick, right? You know that I've got this little slot right here in the stage, and the card falls through onto those two little ribbons. The only issue is I kind of forgot how to make it work twice. Thank you guys. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a very important job. Oh, stand up, stand up, stand up. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. She's taking her sweatshirts off so she doesn't lose anything, which is smart, which is very smart, because I've lost things before and I can usually get in trouble. Oh, really? Really? I'm gonna keep you guys from the last trick. I'm just letting you know. Nope. All right. So what is your name? What was that? Violet. Okay. So Violet, I'm gonna give you a very important job. Okay. I need you to think of a number between 1 and 6. Just keep it in your head. Don't say it out loud. Now you 6 up here, I would like you guys to move on over right to the front of the stage, because guess what? You get to become a part of the trick. And when I say a part of the trick, guys, what is with this speaker? Yeah, I guess not. Maybe, who knows? So I want all of you guys to line up and I want you to face the crowd for me, okay? You talk a lot, don't you? Okay, cool. Alright, if you don't care, I'm gonna need 2 more people to come on up. Yeah. Alright. No, because the reason why is because you guys, you 6 right now in front of the stage, are actually going to learn the secret of this trick before everybody else sees it, okay? Which is why I need you guys to be able to keep a secret for me, okay? So, in order to make this work, I actually need the trick. So, right here, I've got these giant gem boards, as I like to call them. They're a little bit heavy, but on each board, there is a different colored gem. On the back of the boards is what you guys are going to see, and I do not want you to tell anybody what's on the other side. It is a prediction that you guys will know ahead of everybody else.
Amston Home Transition Solutions. We are a relocation, downsizing, moving company. We specialize for seniors. So we recently ventured into commercial and residential moves, but that's how we started, with seniors. So we do it all. We do presentations at local communities and libraries. We work very closely with the senior communities all throughout Connecticut and some in New York. So that's
what's your name?
Yeah.
And so it's...
What's that?
What's your name?
My name is Sarah.
Sarah?
Yeah, and this is Tom. And Tom is one of our owners.
So it's really A to Z. So we're trying to cover all areas. As Sarah mentioned, it's transition, from one place to another. So there's downsizing, packing, decluttering, home modifications if you want to stay in place. Really anything that we can do to kind of be a resource, to seniors and help out.
Where can people contact you?
So guidingthemove.com, that is our website. So all of our information is on there. Do have a phone number, but I can't remember on top of my head right now. Actually, hold on. The phone number is 860-385-8728. I can give you something better if you want. What?
Oh,
even better.
Right.
I have Sending Sunny Smiles. I do customizable care packages. That's pick and choose. As few as many items. I have about 30 different things. My main ones are little knit bunnies that are super soft, and I have little kitties. They come in different sizes, in different colors, and I have a bunch of other items too.
Artist that collects vintage metal from jewelry factories that closed in the mid-century. I mean, the years varied, like 50s, 60s. And then I take the metals and I inlay my own clay designs. So it's all my artwork along with upcycled piece of metal.
So, where can people find your product?
Mostly online. I do a lot of shows for a living. So I'll be at farmers markets, art shows, indoors and outdoors. LoriLynnsJewelry.com. I have a lot of things listed, and I also teach classes too. So I do candle making classes and jewelry making, a whole bunch of different things. Yeah.
We'll do these cozies. They go. You can like put them on your coffee cups or tumbler cups, and they keep your drinks cold or hot.
How does that work? With keeping it cold and hot?
So when I make them, I use a fleece that's thermal, so
that's what keeps.
Yeah, it's like you sew it on the inside of them, and it's thick, so it helps to keep them like cold.
From the Town Center Project, and I handle all the music during Maple Fest 2025. It's a lot of fun. We've got 3 performers on Saturday and 3 performers on Sunday, along with the bagpipers that are going to be playing, in the name of St. Patrick's Day. They'll be playing at 2 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. The Ross Clan Pipe Band, their name is. They're local. They're looking for people to play in the band too. So if you play a bagpipe, go see them. Another thing is we have a great band at 3 o'clock today called the Teals. They're a young band from Holland, and they're really fun to watch. What else? The food is always great here, and hope you come and have a great time.
With this first. Yeah, he's doing
No, it ain't easy.
This is the type of weather that it always is.
Got to hold on. She was an unknown legend in her time.
Right.
Now she's dressing to kill, looking for a magic kiss. She gets that far away look in her eyes. Somewhere on a desert highway, she rides a Harley Davidson. Her long blonde hair flying in the wind. She's been running half her life.
Here at EHN Youth and Family Services. Welcome to our annual Tap Into Nature event. We've got a bunch of activities going on inside our building as well as behind me on our trail. These activities are geared toward all ages, so we hope you come out. We're here today until about 3 o'clock and tomorrow the same thing until 3 o'clock. We've got live animals, reptiles, birds, something for the whole family, so come on down.
Our Texas variety, so she's a bit lighter in color than our native. Mostly the damage is going to be to your nervous system. You might have a little bit of spasming. What's really dangerous here in Connecticut is the timber rattlesnake. Those guys can be considered lethal. You're going to want to get to an emergency room as soon as possible. The treatment for a snake bite, a venomous snake bite, is going to be anti-venom. The antibodies taken for the most part from horses after being exposed to the venom. It's going to be a little bit of an expensive visit to the emergency room. It takes a couple vials per snake bite, and the vials are going to be a few $1,000s. Luckily, it's pretty easy to avoid the copperheads and the timber rattlesnakes. They're found around central Connecticut in rocky mountainous outcroppings. If you are ever moving through the woods, make sure you make, a ton of noise. And if you ever have to step over a log, step out away from that log. Yep.
So the pointless ones are red.
So these these are our venomous. Now, poison versus venom, that's a little bit of a distinction we'll make when we talk about these two. So we have our venomous snake. These guys produce a toxin in a toxic gland and inject it through hollow point fangs. They can also, venomous animals can sting, like a bee sting, are technically venomous. And then you have poisonous things. Poisonous things are either ingested or skin-to-skin contact, eating a poisonous mushroom, or touching a poisonous dart frog.
This is our Broadway hawk. His name is Shadow. It is a male. We know it's a male because of the size of him. You'll notice Shadow does a lot of perching, a lot of speaking. That is the reason why he's with us. Shadow is a Broadway hawk. He came in as a young bird. What happened to him was someone must have hit, this is what they feel happened. Someone must have hit him with an automobile, brought him home, kept him in their home. They must have had house birds. That's the sound house birds. What they did was they dropped him off at Tufts University in a little crate. They didn't leave a note or anything. When they went to pick him up, get him out of the crate, his feathers were all broken up and tattered, as if he were in an inside bird cage. They can't live in that type of an environment. Once they examined him, the feathers were all broken. They knew it was a young bird because his eyes were blue. They don't get this brown until they become adults at about 2 years of age. Once they put him in the room with other broad-winged hawks, he tried to step on their head and their shoulder. That's what house birds do. So that is why he is with us. He wants to be around people. He wants to be around other birds. It's not normal for him to do that. Broad-winged hawks actually come here from South America in the spring. They will travel 3,500 to 4,300 miles, never traveling over salt water. Come up here, and they only come here on this side of the Mississippi. Come here, mate, and then in the fall, they will go back down to South America. It's a wooded hawk. It's a bird that you would see in the woods around here. They were on a special concern list for a while. Several reasons. Because it's a small hawk, they share the woods with a red-shouldered hawk. Red-shouldered hawks aren't very friendly. They don't like to share anything with anybody. So they were kind of picking on them for quite a while. The loss of habitat, when they were cutting down woods and putting buildings and commercial lots. And then the other reason is because this bird goes to South America, they still use DDT in South America. For those of you younger ones who don't know what DDT is, it is a chemical to get rid of pesky bugs. People don't like bugs on their lawn. They don't like bugs in their gardens. So, and they just don't want, and even those little pesky mice and chipmunks and things like that. And what happens is when it's a process where their eggshells become very soft, so when the bird goes to sit on it, the eggshell breaks. So now no young birds are being hatched. They are doing much better now though. So as I mentioned, they are here in the spring. They stay here this side of Mississippi. Then they go back down to South America. Again, you'll notice, legs look like pencils. This bird will wade in shallow water. One of his favorite foods is frog. You know, they really do have amazing features and things they do. And it's funny because sometimes I mention them and people get like really like, oh God, that's disgusting. But if you think about the concept of what they're doing, this bird will skin its food before they eat it. I mean, who does that? You know, it's like, how do you even do that? All you have is beak. You're holding the food with your feet. So you're doing all this work with your beak. Think about it. I know, you guys are probably saying, oh, that's disgusting. For me, I think it's amazing, personally. So as I mentioned, they do travel a lot. They do not travel over salt water. They really are quite an amazing bird. This bird is going on about 8 years of age. They can live to be about 12 when they're out in the wild. Doubles in captivity because they don't have a lot of predators or anything that's going to go after them. Do you guys have any questions? This is a barred owl. She is a female. We know it's a female because of the size of her. Her name is Keely. Remember how I mentioned earlier about the gray, the silver, when she blinks her eyes? This is one of the birds that you'll notice it as she's blinking. It's very quick. So Keely came to us as a very young bird, pretty much out of her nest. She was found on the side of the road, underweight. She has an issue with her wing closest to me, and she was blind in one eye. So we believe she came from the nest that way, unfortunately. She's, like I said, she's just going on 2 years of age. You'll notice the other owl I had out had feather tufts on the top of her head. She does not have any. She's a non-tufted owl. But you can see those features that I had talked about earlier with the smaller owl. That facial disc, collects sound. Her beak is closer to her face. There are whiskers. Her eyes are brown. They're actually brown, they do look black. That tells you what time of night she hunts. She'll hunt from 4:30 in the afternoon to 5 o'clock in the morning. Once those songbirds come out, you won't see this bird anymore. This is the bird that sounds like very approachable. This one you'll see sitting on a fence post, especially come February. That's during their mating season, and they're really basically protecting their area. They have a 1 square mile territory where they would live in a wooded area. You'll find them as long as there's any kind of a river, waterways, they will wade in shallow water. One of their favorite foods is meadow vole. If they were to get like a diet of crayfish, their belly feathers would turn pink. This is one of the birds that you will see. I get a lot of phone calls. Oh, there's an owl on my deck. Did you leave the lights on last night? Yeah, we did. Why do you think the owl was sitting on the deck? Bugs. That's it, bugs. Moths, any type of a bigger bug, they always go after those lights when the lights are on. That's what this bird is going after. If you have a campfire, this is one of the birds you probably see sitting in the distance, just waiting for those bugs to go up where that campfire is. That's what they're going after. So again, the features we talked about, that facial disc. On her feet, all the way down to her toes, down to her talons, on her toes, she has feathers. Owls have the feathers to protect their feet, and it allows them to go quiet. When they go to catch something, they're quiet. Again, the flight feathers. Try to get it. The top 10 feathers are called flight feathers. The tops of them are serrated like a comb. It's so that they're flying quietly. It's called silent flight. If they didn't have that, they would never catch their food. They don't have to be fast. They just have to be quick enough to get their food. Their eyesight is 8 to 10 times better than ours. Their hearing is 8 to 10 times better than ours. Again, I mentioned earlier about one ear. The left ear is larger and lower. The right ear is smaller. That allows them, one does horizontal sounds and the other one does vertical sounds. So it allows them to hone in on their prey if there's something under snow or leaves for when they're hunting. They can also see close up and far away at the same time. I can't even see that with my glasses on, but that's beside the point. It's amazing the way their eyes are set up. It's specifically for hunting in the evening. Again, I mentioned earlier, there she blinked. Did you guys see it? She blinked. You didn't see it. I'll try to turn her this way. She'll do it. She might do it. this, oh, don't do that. There you go. They will do, like I said, they'll do their hunting from 4:30 to 5 o'clock or 4:30 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock at night, going after mostly small things. You see it? You guys see her doing it?
Yes.
And that is to protect them for when they're hunting. So if something comes at their face, that's what they use. So they have their eyelid on the bottom that comes up for when they're resting. The eyelid on top, they blink the way you and I do, and then that one eyelid, it looks like it's going up and down, but it's really actually going side to side for them. They're mostly feathers. Owls are 6,000 to 8,000 feathers. So if we had eyes the size of an owl, they would be the size of a grapefruit in our head. So if we were to take all the feathers off of this bird, she would have mostly a large skull with big holes for her eyes. There really wouldn't be a lot of body there. It's mostly skeleton. Very skeletal looking, their body. They don't need to have a lot of weight. Their bones are hollow. Well, I shouldn't say hollow, they're kind of like lattice work or screening. It makes them tougher, it makes them stronger, so that when they're flying, it's lighter weight for them. Again, this is another bird that will cast a pellet. After about 6 hours of a meal, they cast pellets, as long as they get themselves a meal regularly. You can see, she's got 3 toes in front here, 2 in front here. So they have 4 toes. That middle toe, they can either put it forward or backwards, and it's called a pterodactyl toe. It gives them the ability to grip onto something much tighter.
We got owl pellets over here.
Those are actual owl.
Yeah. And this is owl pellets. Isn't that cool? It's, well, they're owls. They make little pellets.
You can see the fur in it.
An owl has 2 stomachs, and they swallow the animal whole, and then all the bone and skins that they can't digest, it forms a ball when it gets ejected.
We're boiling down the sap, and the sugar maple it takes about 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. And right now we're just evaporating the water down or the sap, and we're just going through the process what you can do on a small scale to make syrup.
It takes quite a while to
Yeah, it takes a long time. I mean, we're not going to make syrup today, but we're just showing
boil it down.
Sure. Yeah.
So 40 gallons boils down to 1 gallon?
Right.
Roughly.
Wow.
1 gallon is syrup.
Roughly.
Wow.
And there's some other trees that produce, I mean, the ratio is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 65 to 1.
Yeah.
Even higher sometimes.
Wow.
So.
How long does this stay there now?
Right now we're just going through the process. You can make syrup in a day if we really stoke the fire really good and everything else, and get the uniformity temperature up and everything else. But we just want to show what you need to do.
The process. Right?
Yes.
Typically you would be seeing this boiling, and then the rate of evaporation increases, so you would be able to make it a little bit sooner.
So you want to bring this up to 219, and that'll be your cutoff point to make syrup.
Okay.
So when you get around 212, you want to really monitor it quite often.
Okay.
And then, because you don't want to go over the 219, because you'll start to crystallize or burn. All right. So there is a cutoff point, just like making candy.
So he put the fire, where did he have the firebox?
So, while the cabinet, we laid it down on its back, took all the drawers out, and then we put angle iron, then of course the top of the angle iron, and then put just like cheap dishes.
Okay, on top.
And then you cut the more on the bottom of the file cabinet there, with some drinks in there. That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
But then you just have to plug it off, like, you can see the back fans in the front, you have to pull them off the evaporator, so really,
That's hot.
it's hot. You need two people to do it. You have to do like wires or something.
Right.
Then you got flames flying out.
Maybe not the best setup,
Yeah, but it's a start.
but it's a start.
My dad is used to go around looking for people that have increased their loans. Go walk in the door, ask them what they have, and he sees them here. It's a hotel.
Yeah. How do you guys get the sap from all the yards? So you just drive around?
Yeah, we got the truck, it's a truck with a bulk tank.
Okay.
Back there, so we go around, 5-gallon pails to put tree and give them the pails, bring it back to the truck, truck.
How often do you have to do that?
Depends on how good the sap
Yeah.
control is there. But, I mean, it's a lot of like work. It really is. I mean, one year, our best year ever, we figured out that we got about 8,000 gallons of sap. So we had to like walk the line. It's my dad, my brother, and I.
That's a lot.
It is. And I remember one of them was a big truck. But it works.
Yeah.
So, but that's why we don't need lines. Lines really work well with it.
Right.
That's it.
Especially in China.
Say hi, welcome to Hurst Farm.
Hi, welcome.